All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok, on repart sur un... D'accord.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Il y a une autre issue en bas ou pas?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Putain, c'est la même. Je pensais qu'il y avait une autre... What? Oh putain. Ah!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ah mais il me termine ce jeu.
To go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Je jure. C'est insane.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What? Ah, ça me fume.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Je savais plus qu'elle s'ouvrait là. Ça veut dire astuce pour pas se faire virer. Félix.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Un truc. Là, on n'est pas allé.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Super. Bon, on va quand même y aller, c'est pas grave.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and...
Ah, le salaud.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What? What?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
En VR, moi j'y vais pas. Hein.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
C'est un jeu si frustrant, j'avoue. Je colle au siège, c'est terrible. On dirait le musée de ma mort, c'est terrible. Belle vue, j'aime bien. Je me perds là. What? Ouais, je vous jure, je vais me perdre. Secours. What the fuck? Attends, et c'est quel genre de... Il y a une fin ou je vais juste me perdre genre? Oula. C'est normal ou pas ça? Au secours? Tac. What? Le jeu il s'ouvre plus. What? On dirait un glitch. Mais là il y a un souci là. Et what? Non mais... Il y a un vrai bail là, attends, il s'est pas... Je peux plus ouvrir le jeu. Je peux plus. Ouais, c'est bon. J'ai fermé le jeu, on va relancer. Non mais là... Mais non mais c'est quoi cette histoire? Mais... Comment ça? Non, mais c'est quoi? J'ai appuyé sur commencer. Le truc s'est fermé.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ça me
Stanley
perturbe.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Je crois que ça a vraiment bugué, genre.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Je sais pas si ça a bugué ou pas. Parce que comme c'est tout le temps la
Yet
même
there
chose,
was
c'est
not a
grave dur de
single
savoir.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Toujours pas la salle là-bas? Non? D'accord.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Ah, je peux pas aller dans le trou, c'est con.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ok, on va refaire. Et il y a
The
d'autres
lights
trucs là.
rose on an enormous room packed with television
Le truc c'est que c'est
screens.
long
What
l'intro.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Je vais essayer de faire un truc.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy,
merde, c'est fermé.
or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly.
Il est hyper vénère contre moi là, le mec.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Putain.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
What?
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
La manette, elle est en Y, hein. Amour, je t'ai réveillé. Ok, bon. Elle était pas ouf la fin, je m'attendais à mieux.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
J'ai envie d'aller à l'autre pour une fois.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
On était déjà allé là, mais j'ai fait un autre truc, genre différent.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
J'ai trop envie d'essayer d'aller là. Je me dis, je peux sauter, mais
Look,
il dit...
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but that... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Putain.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Allez.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy?
Je comprends pas à quoi ça sert d'avoir
The
ça.
problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh putain.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Pourquoi je mourrais? C'est tellement dur à coder en plus, tourner en rond pendant un moment, puis avoir un nouveau chemin qui apparaît, sans aucun changement ni mini-freeze. Ouais, non, par contre, c'est délirant comment c'est fait, c'est incroyable.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
C'est insane. Ah, il veut que je me suicide.
No!
Oh! J'avais plus un score.
Thank God. You lived. You had me... No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley?
Ah, mais les phrases qui changent et tout, c'est
I'm asking you
insane.
not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Je vais jamais mourir, je crois.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Non, ça change
Maybe
rien.
you're just getting a kick out of it. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Oh putain, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici?
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Moi je veux bien, par contre, faut qu'il se passe un truc, genre. Il se passe rien, frère. Ok. Tu vas vraiment mourir?
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Oh la vache.
I'm going back.
Oh, c'est violent.